Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Anchor and Ascend podcast with me, your host, Angela Papa. So today we are going to be diving into the liminal space between eclipses. So, as a prerequisite for this episode, I highly recommend that you go back and you listen to the previous 2 episodes of this podcast. Because in those episodes, I not only talk about the overall energy of March and working with the eclipses and all of the astrological weather that we are under right now, but I also talk about the previous eclipse, the lunar eclipse in Virgo that we had on the 13th of this month. So I'm using this series of episodes, if you will, as a way to really dissect each moment of this eclipse portal that we are under. Because from March 13th through April 12th, and honestly, since the beginning of March, if you ask me, we are under a really intense portal of time where the energies are prime for transformation, where the energies are prime for new beginnings, for quantum leaps in our lives. So this is really March and April is some of the most potent transformational times of the entire year. And it's really important to understand how to work with each part of this portal, because each part of this portal is different. There are different energies at play. There are different ways to work with it. There are different ways to hold yourself during each of the different moments. And the moment that we're talking about today is completely different than the moment we were talking about last week, right? But in order to truly harness the moment that we'll be getting into today, you had to truly harness what was happening with the energy of the lunar eclipse. And it's not too late. If you're just diving in now, it's not too late to go through the exact steps of the healing and the transformation that I've been leading you through so far in this podcast series. So before we listen to today's, if you haven't listened to the previous 2, or at the very least, the last one on the lunar eclipse in Virgo, go listen to that first, then listen to this one, and you will know exactly how to work with this time. Okay? But if you are caught up, let's go, baby. So, I am recording this on March 19th. March 20th, tomorrow, is the first day of spring. It is not only the first day of spring, but it is the actual astrological new year. So it really cracks me up how humans are new year, new me on January 1st. Nah, bitch, sorry. That's just the new year of the Gregorian calendar, a made-up calendar that is not in alignment with the cycles of the planets, that is not in alignment with the cycles of the seasons of Earth. It's just it's not. It actually throws you off. It actually throws you out of alignment and throws you off of your own flow that we naturally are attuned to when you do the new year, new me bullshit, thinking that on January 1st, you're reborn again. It's just the opposite of the truth. So welcome to my side of the internet, where we are in alignment with the cycles of the universe and the cosmos and our bodies and planet. And that is how you get into ultimate alignment. So March 20th, baby, that's the real new year, okay? First day of spring, all the seeds that we planted in the winter time are now starting to blossom. Literally, the weather is getting warmer. Well, I live in South Florida, so it's always warm. But I used to live in New Jersey, and it starts to get warmer. And it's the first day of Aries season. And Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. Aries is initiatory energy. Aries starts something new. Aries is the leader. Aries trailblazes its own unique path forward, and that is the energy that is going to be available to us with Aries season starting, with the astrological new year, and we have a lot of Aries transits happening at the end of the month as well, which of course we'll be getting more into in the next episode. But for now, it is important to note that there is literally like a spring of fresh energy that is available to us right now. After the death, after the release, after the purging that we just had under this lunar eclipse in Virgo last week, and we're probably still going through, which we're going to get into, there is a moment of like a breath of fresh air coming through. Okay? Now, that is just one part, but like the meat of the topic that we're getting into today is the liminal space, is the time in between eclipses. Okay, so eclipses always come in pairs. There's always a lunar eclipse and there's always a solar eclipse. This eclipse portal started with a lunar eclipse. Lunar eclipses are times of releasing, purging. I am releasing X to receive Y. You are making space for something new to come in, right? You cannot possibly move forward in your life in this new chapter, in this new beginning that is wanting to come through, holding on to this old outdated version of you, or beliefs, or habits, or relationships, or whatever it is, right? We're all shifting in different areas of our lives right now. So there has been a release that's already occurred and it's continuing to occur, right? Like we're still releasing, we're still purging. It's not like on the day of the eclipse, like, boom, oh, okay, release it all. No, right? Like it takes a little bit of time. But in this moment of the in-between, right? So lunar eclipse, March 13th, solar eclipse, March 29th. That is around 15 days. I can't do that math in my head right now, but that is around 15 days of liminal space, of in-between space that we were in. So what this means is right now, you might be feeling like you're not exactly who you used to be. You might be feeling like the old you is starting to fall away. People you used to like to hang out with, you don't really want to hang out with them anymore. Relationship that you might have been in just no longer feels aligned or exciting to you anymore. A job that you were in is just no longer it for you. Habits, coping mechanisms, things that you used to reach for, go to, no longer do the trick. Your everyday habits might be changing. The way you used to go about your day, you no longer want to go about it that way, right? So it's like this way that we used to be is falling away right now. Layer by layer by layer, it's starting to shed. And you might be kind of surprising yourself. Like, oh, I don't want to do this thing anymore. Or, oh, I don't want to hang out with this person anymore. Or, oh, I don't want to think this way anymore. I don't want to talk to myself this way anymore. I don't want to treat myself this way anymore. Interesting. So like, it's so important to be in this time with curiosity and with openness. Because you're going to start shocking yourself. You might start to not recognize yourself. And that's a good thing. Okay? Because these old ways of being, the knee-jerk reactions of ways that we were acting in the past, it's becoming glaringly clear that they no longer serve us. But it's like not even like we have to go through like the mumbo jumbo in our head of talking to ourselves like, oh, this no longer serves, I'm going to put this down, or this is no longer in alignment, I'm going to set that down. No, right now, like that's not even like a part of it. Right now, it's like very almost effortless with the way things are starting to fall away. It's like maybe something that you have worked on for years, like a habit or a pattern or a belief or a relationship or a job or whatever it is, right? We're all going through it in different areas of life right now, but whatever that is for you, you might have been like trying for years to like put that to rest, to put that to sleep, and you kept going back to it, and you kept going back to it, and you kept going back to it. Kept moving into this pattern, keep going back into this pattern. And now it's like, oh, I'm not acting out that pattern anymore. Or you try to act out the pattern and it like really doesn't feel good. You're like, ooh, this thing that used to bring me solace, this thing that used to bring me relief, this thing that I used to cope with feels really gross now. That is because this portal wander. That is because of the energetic release that happened, the energetic reconfiguration that is happening, and that really kicked off with the lunar eclipse in Virgo on the 13th, right? There was an energetic purging. You might have not noticed it in your field yet, in your 3D reality yet, but there was an energetic purging that occurred. And that is why when we knee-jerk go back to the things that we've always gone back to right now, it's not even that you have to tell yourself it's not aligned anymore. It's just like, ew, I used to do that. I used to think like that. I used to act like that. I used to, whatever it is, right? It's an almost like right now is like an effortless, like moving into the next stage. It's very clear that the old ways are no longer aligned. We don't even have to go to the song and dance anymore, you know, like, I want to release this. This is not in alignment. And then you like get better for a few days, then you go right back to the thing again, right? Like we all know that song and dance. We're all human. No one's perfect. But like, it's not even like a thing right now. It's like, okay, that's just not part of my reality anymore. It's just like done, cut out. It doesn't even feel good. I don't even want that anymore. I can't even believe I used to act that way or do that thing or think that way or whatever. Like, couldn't be me, right? Like that's kind of the energy that we're under right now, which is kind of nice because it's like the universe is like cutting out the bullshit. The universe is literally, quite literally, not allowing us to move forward in the same way that we have moved in the past. And it is becoming evident by how we feel right now, by how we're acting right now, by how we're surprising ourselves right now. But this is the liminal space, remember? Which means, yeah, we're not in that old way anymore. Yeah, we're not doing that old thing anymore. We're not thinking that way, right? We don't have those beliefs per se anymore. But we're not quite where we're going yet. We can start to see what we're moving towards. We can start to feel what we're moving towards, but we're not fully there yet. We're not fully embodied in that yet. It hasn't quite materialized in our realities yet, which is why this is the in-between. And the in-between is the most magical, transformational, fertile place to be. Because this is where all possibilities are present. We are standing in the in-between, right? So why we couldn't move forward in the past towards whatever our destiny is, right? Because eclipses have to do with destiny, eclipses have to do with fate. This time is bringing us to where we are destined to be, which again, I talked about in my previous 2 episodes, so definitely go listen to that. I really go into like what an eclipse is. I'm not gonna say it for the 20th time now. Go listen to the previous episode. But times of fate, where we are meant to be. Okay? And we haven't gotten there yet because of what we were holding on to, because of what we were gripping onto, because of the ways we were acting, our patterns, our beliefs, whatever, right? The people that we were surrounding ourselves with, whatever we had to leave. is starting to leave right now, right? Like I mentioned, just starting to strip away really easily. And now we're in the middle. We can look behind us. Interesting, I used to be there. Interesting, I used to do those things. And we're looking in front of us. It's a little foggy. I can kind of see it, but I can't really see it yet. And we couldn't get to this liminal space, though, holding on to those things that are now naturally being released, right? Like in order to get to the next stage of the transformation cycle, which is literally what we're going through right now, right? This is a transformational cycle. I'm also a transformational mentor. I bring people through these transformational cycles all the time. But now everybody is going through it because of the eclipse cycle. Whether you want to go through a transformation cycle or not, baby, I'm sorry, you're going through it. Even the muggles, they're going through it. They don't know what's happening, right? But you can purposely put yourself through these transformational cycles. Sidebar, but everybody's going through it right now. But the liminal space is so magical because you no longer have the old shit with you. Because you threw away the baggage. Because you threw out the trash. Right? You can't possibly get to your next level of whatever it is. You cannot possibly get to your next new beginning, your dream reality, your destiny reality, your fated reality. Holding on to the shit. Holding on to the patterns that no longer serve you. Holding on to the shitty beliefs about yourself and the world. Holding on to the relationships that bring you down. Holding on to the job that stresses you out. Whatever it is, you cannot move forward. And that is why eclipses are so powerful, and that's why I love them. Because they will rip it out. Rip it out. Whether you like it or not. And that's why eclipses get a bad rap. Because humans don't like change. It bruises our ego. It scares us. But what if the change was for the better? What if the change is what you need to save your goddamn life? What if the change is what you need to become the best fucking version of yourself? What if you look back at this moment in time and you're like, thank God. Because I am now this version of myself. I am now living this life that I didn't even think was possible. So thank God I let those things go. Thank God I let myself transform. Thank God I let myself heal. Right? And like that really is what is possible at the end of this eclipse portal. This eclipse portal can bring in something that is way beyond what your human mind can comprehend right now. Okay? It really can. But if and only if you surrender to this time, if and only if you do the work in this time to transform and heal, if and only if you truly let these things go, you truly let the dead things that are dying go, if and only if you know how to work with this energy, right? Like, yeah, people that don't know astrology and don't know what's going on are going through transformation right now, and they will get to a certain level after this, but the quantum leaping, the catapulting into a reality beyond your wildest dreams is available to everybody, but only those that work with this time in a very specific way. Only those that are aware of how this energy is working with them and working with their own unique chart. Okay? Like there's like baby leaps, like bunny hops that are available to you, or there's literally like rocket ship launches that are available to you. And whichever one you experience, you've chosen. Because you've either chosen to understand how this is affecting you, to look into your birth chart to see where these eclipses are affecting you, to make changes in your life in accordance to where these eclipses are hitting your birth chart. You've either chosen to let the things go for real this time. You've either chosen to do the inner work, to surrender, to trust, to look at the energy and to allow it to move through you, or you've chosen to ignore it. You've chosen to not look at your chart and figure out how it's affecting you. It's a choice at the end of the day. That's why, like, I look at, like, past versions of myself who, like, didn't understand this stuff and, like, didn't look at my chart and, like, didn't work with it and kind of just, like, put my hands over my ears, like, no, I don't want to change. And I'm like, I don't feel sorry for you because A, I needed to go through that, but B, like, you chose that, babe. You chose that because you weren't ready yet. So it's like, are you going to step up to the plate of your life and your next reality and your highest timeline, or are you not? It's a choice. It's a choice. Are you going to surrender to this time and allow yourself to be transformed from the inside out, or are you not? You can go kicking and screaming. You can go white knuckling. It's not going to get you where you want to be. You're not going to like where you end up. Like, sorry, I'm not one of those spiritual advisors who's going to fluff your butt cheeks. I'm not. Like, this is real. You're either going to catapult into your destiny or you're not. And how you act during this time will determine that. Like, I've been honestly shocking myself. My clients have been shocking themselves. Everyone in my life is looking at their lives and been shocking themselves by, like, how much they're shifting and changing in a rapid moment, in rapid speed. Like, for instance, like, I'll just use me as an example. I like to sleep in, okay? Or should I say I used to like to sleep in. 10:30, 11, crawl out of bed, you know? But then, like, I would get to the end of my day and I'm like, I didn't get anything I wanted to get done. Nothing I got done. Like, and I would, like, then go into the shame and, like, get mad at myself, put myself down, and then it was like a never-ending cycle of me, like, then staying up too late because I woke up too late, and then I would wake up late the next day, and I was not moving forward towards what I wanted to create in my life or get done in my life because I was waking up too late and I didn't have time for all the things in my day. I have been waking up at like 7, 8 o'clock and, like, getting so much done. It's astonishing to me. And I'm, like, happy and I have energy. Like, I used to not have energy before. And it used to be so hard for me to wake up in the morning. Now I'm popping up at 8 a.m. without an alarm. Like, who am I? Who am I? Like, I tell people in my life, they're like, you are up early? Like, that is how, like, much of a sleepy girl I used to be. Okay? Like, I'm astonishing myself. Astonishing myself. That's just one example of, like, one of the many ways that I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. And it's because I've had the discipline to kickstart that, right? Like, I didn't just, like, wake up at 7 a.m. one day. Like, I started forcing myself to wake up at 7 a.m. one day, and now it's coming easy, right? And there's a bunch of other things that I let go in my life, but, like, we don't have to get too personal with it. And that's the thing. You know what needs to be let go of right now. You know it. Don't pretend like you don't. Now, are you actually allowing it to slip from your fingers, or are you white knuckling it? This is a death of one version of ourselves and a birth of another. It really is. And I know it can be scary. Humans don't like the change, right? But, like, can you allow life to surprise you? Be better than you ever could have imagined? Because that is what is on the other side of this. So while we are in this in-between phase, notice, be curious, surrender, trust, and just know that, like, you might not know where you're going after this, but it is guaranteed that it is better from what you just left behind. And that is where the trust comes in. And also love for yourself. Like, these changes that we're making, like, obviously, like, it's better for you. You know? So, like, love yourself and let yourself change and transform. See how it's all playing out for you, right? Look at the house that's being affected by the Virgo eclipse that we just had. That's pointing to some purging, where you were purging and releasing. Look to the house that Aries is in your chart. That's where the next eclipse is. That's also where there's so many other things happening. There's a fucking party in Aries right now. I'm going to be continuing in Aries. That is where a new beginning wants to happen in your life. And can you see? Can you look at the patterns and notice, aha, of course I had to let go of this thing over here. Or else this new beginning where Aries is could not possibly come in. Could not possibly come in. Right? I'll use me for an example. The eclipse in Virgo has to do in my house of communication and sharing myself and sharing my voice. What have I started during this eclipse portal? I've restarted my podcast. I've restarted my YouTube. Where is Aries? My 10th house of career. Of course, I had to restart this up. I had to be sharing. I had to be sharing openly and vulnerably for this whatever is about to come into my career, right? I had to work through the blocks and the fear and like the sludge and the resistance to come back on the camera and to come open the mic again. Because there was a lot of resistance. I didn't want to do it at first, but I knew I had to. I knew I had to wake up earlier because also I just didn't have time to do this, right? I knew I had to change habits in my everyday life to create space to do this, right? Like, do you see how that then feeds into whatever is coming in my career next? So like, look at these things. Like, this is like fun. Like, this is where life becomes like almost like a movie, almost like a game. And like, the better it gets, the better it gets. And it's only going to get better from here. And if you feel like you're being whipped around in the cosmic ringer right now, it's because you're not surrendering. It's because you're white knuckling. The universe will do whatever it has to do to get your attention. The universe will do whatever it has to do to make sure something leaves your life. Now, we have free will. I mean, you can go back to it. Won't feel good. It'll keep you stuck. You can go back to it, but the universe will try to rip it out of your fingers. And that's when you feel like you're being whipped around the cosmic ringer. It's when you feel you're getting slapped in the face. It's because you're not trusting. It's because you're not surrendering. It's because you're trying to control. And that is not how you work with this time. It's the opposite. Okay? So, as always, I'm still having my eclipse reading specials. It is not too late to find out how all this energy of this eclipse portal is affecting you. In this reading, I not only go into both eclipses, but also all the other major astrological transits we are having from the beginning of March through the end of the portal in April. There is a lot happening in the sky, and it is literally giving you a roadmap on how to work with this energy at this time so you can quantum leap, so you can catapult into your next evolution. And if you do not know how this is affecting your chart, highly recommend that you book a reading with me so you can understand. And we will talk about how to work with this and help you create a plan according to your chart, according to how the energy is hitting you and affecting you, so you can make the most out of this time. You're not walking around with blinders on and getting whipped around. That is one option. Or if you really want to go totally in on your quantum leaping, I also have a 3-session package called the Quantum Leap Package, and that will obviously involve the astrology of this time, but it's also the astrology of the entire year. So you can astrological reading for the entire year and how to work with it, which is ginormous. You also get a breathwork healing session with me, an energy healing session where we do some breathwork, where that will help release all the parts of you that are trying to white knuckle. It'll help you release all the patterns and the beliefs and whatever healing needs to happen for the inner transformation, the inner healing that has to occur for you to become this new version of yourself. And then we do the coaching, which is where you are like, okay, I see what the universe is ushering in for me this year. I see where I had to release and do some healing. We just worked on that. Now, what is my order for the universe? What do I want? And then we plug that in and we weave that in, and then we come up with a giant plan for you to quantum leap, and bam, it happens. So 2 options to work with me right now. This is the time to do these kind of sessions. It just is. I mean, the quantum leap will work any time of the year, but you do those sessions during this portal, holy shit. Like, new self loading, new reality loading. Like, you'll literally like look around, you'll be like, whoa, how did I get here? And you'll be like so happy. So really excited for that one. Okay, I hope you like this episode. If you do know where all this is hitting your chart, drop it in the comments, DM me on Instagram at AngePapa, and let me know. I love to have conversations about all of this. And let's say next week should be the episode about the eclipse. I might wait till it's a little bit closer to the next eclipse to post that episode, but we shall see. Either way, I love you. You've got this. Trust, surrender. And I'll see you on the other side and the next episode. Bye.